Today I'm going to demonstrate how to train the balance stop using the Foreman method. I'm going to break it down by the cue, the trigger, the enforcement, and the rider position. And I'm also going to discuss how it all comes together using slow-mo and picking the videos apart. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. Today I'm riding BT Ecstasy of Gold. He is a 2019 Palomino gelding raised by BT Performance Horses of Litchfield, Kentucky. And we call him Wyatt here on the ranch. And this video was taken the summer of 2021 when I had him in for training, and I was just starting to teach him the basic handle and teach him the balance stop. Now the Foreman balance stop is derived from the calf roping stop. It looks nothing like the reiner stop that we usually think of when we think of horses stopping and sliding 15 feet. The calf roping stop is going to be a hard stop, like a 3-stride stop, so that rider can jump off and go rope that calf or do the next maneuver. So what I'm going to show you here are the cues that I use to get this stop, the position that I need to be in, and how I'm going to work my reins, rather than just pulling straight back on the horse's face, you know, an ugly mouth gap open and, you know, prop stop front end, all of those ugly things that you associate with a poor stopping horse. And so here, I'm going to show you first is the cue, which is the whoa, and you can't hear that because obviously I don't have the sound on this video. But let's slow it down. After the preparatory cue, I put my inside rein hand forward. The horse feels the rein go slack. He also sees and feels my hand go forward. And then I pull back. I go forward with my outside rein. This rein is direct contact with that outside hind leg. That's going to put the brakes on that outside hind and square him up straight. I pull back and I enforce it. And then I immediately release and give him his head back and say thank you as soon as he stops. That's the components to this balance stop. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put him in a roll right here because it's easier to train stops if you add a roll onto the stop and give their feet something to do. And it keeps the momentum going, it keeps them from getting bored, and it keeps them busy. Anytime you can move their feet, anytime you can change direction, the horse is going to learn and you're going to get in better timing with them. But I'm not going to go through all the details of the rolls. We'll do that in other videos. This video is specifically just about how to get the balance stop. Okay, we're going to do a few more of them here at the trot. And notice I do them pretty quick. I rarely let him go an entire lap around the round pen. I want him constantly thinking about stopping and changing directions. That's going to get us more in timing. He's going to learn faster. He's going to get more coordinated with his feet and legs. The more I can make him do these, the better he's going to get at it, and the more in timing we're going to be. So let's watch this going to the right so you can see the hand work, the rein work, and the position I put him in order to make this roll. Let's slow it down. I go forward first with the right rein. That's the trigger. Okay, I've already given him the whoa cue. The trigger is taking that right rein forward. He feels it go slack in his mouth. He sees it out of that right eye. I go forward with my left rein. I pull back with the right rein. This is how you would use a snaffle bit accordingly and use it independently of itself. I pull straight back on the reins, hold, and then as a thank you for stopping after I've held him, I'm going to put my hands back forward up his neck and then set him up for the roll. And you're going to see my body position. I don't sit deep in my saddle. The reason is because in a calf roping stop, they do not sit deep in the saddle. They are up and off those horses before that horse is even getting its butt in the ground. And this allows for dorsal flexion. This allows for that back to round, that stomach to come up and bring that hind end underneath the horse and turn, and he's going to lope off right here really pretty and use himself really nice. So how does this stop work if we're using it in the lope? I personally give a pre-cue to the verbal cue to stop. This has helped me tremendously in ranch riding classes that call from transitions from a lope down to a working trot. Let's watch this again in slow motion so you can see where it happens. I'm going to tell him easy when we're in that lope, and I'm going to go up with just one rein in this lope, okay? And that will break us down to a trot within 3 strides. And then I'll set him up for the cue to stop. So just one rein, tell him easy, he breaks down to a trot. I'm going to set him again, up with the one rein, straight back, up with the outside rein and straight back. He's going to feel the tension release in those reins. He's going to see my hands come forward. I hold him to enforce the stop, put my hands forward to tell him thank you, and then set him up for the roll out that opposite lead, okay? And you can see I'm starting to get a little bit quicker with my cues and with my hand motions as he gets better at performing this stop. Now, when we come out of this roll, he takes the wrong lead, and I'm not going to make a big deal about it. It's okay, I didn't have him set up correctly, and we're going to let that slide, so I break him back down to a trot. I don't make a big deal about it, okay? It was more important for me to work on this stop and get the rolls correctly at this point. I'm going to put him in another stop here and roll him away to the left. He's really good rolling back to the left lead. And I'm going to show you another example here of using that one rein and that easy cue to break him down from a lope to a trot. That makes it super, super effective in ranch riding classes. Slow-mo it down, put the rein forward, 1, 2, 3, and he breaks down to a trot. That is absolute perfection. That's exactly what we're going for. And when this horse gets really snappy and sharp, he's going to be stopping in that 3rd stride. Now this time the stop and roll away to the right, we get the correct lead. Now let's break this down and look at why I got the correct lead this time. I set him up, I release, I say thank you, I set him up for the roll, and this time I am positioned correctly. He plants the inside right hind, he pushes off with the outside left hind, and I am leaned away from the lead to allow him to freely open up and take that right lead and jump out on the correct lead to go to the right. Now we're going to keep on practicing this because we need to develop the muscle memory to help him be correct every single time we work on this and help him get the correct footwork. We have to, as a rider, we have to continue to be consistent in all of our cues and all of our riding and our horsemanship in order to help our horse the best we can. So here I ask for the stop, and he raises his head a little bit. He still picks up the correct lead when he rolls away, but let's watch here. He elevates his head pretty high, and you know what this is an indicator to me? This is telling me that I pulled back on the reins too fast. I didn't give him enough time. He was coming underneath himself, but when I watch this video back, I see he wasn't trying to be naughty. He just said, hey, you took a hold of my face too fast. And that's why we have a martingale on there, to protect the horse from us sometimes. Despite my poor rein handling, he still picks up the correct lead in the roll away. And that's what we're training these horses to do. We're training them to be dummy broke, that when somebody makes a mistake on them, they're still going to do their job correctly here. So I'm going to go ahead and ask him again here, going back to the right and rolling away to the right. And I'm going to be a little bit quieter in my hands. I'm not going to be so quick to shut him down into a stop. Give him a little bit more time. Freedom of movement, he rolls out really nice, takes his right lead. He's getting quieter. Notice how this horse is getting softer, more relaxed in all of his maneuvers as we continue to work him, as we continue to change directions. We're going to call it quits right here with this last and final stop. I want to slow-mo it down and show you guys how I broke this down. I go ahead and give him the cue with one hand. I tell him easy. I give him one rein so he breaks down from the lope to the trot here. And then every single stride, I'm going to hold my reins. When that front left foot hits the ground, you see me pull back on the reins here. This is going to prevent the prop stop. This is what teaches horses to paddle in their front end. And then I release the reins when that front right leg hits the ground. This is how you gallop a horse down into the stop. And in the next stride, he breaks down to a trot. I give him the cue for the full stop. One rein forward, up, and back, and hold him. And then I go with my left rein forward, up, and back, and hold him when that front left leg hits the ground. And then I pull straight back to enforce the stop. He has a little trip there. It's okay. I put my hands forward, say thank you, and I put him directly into a back up. So he's directly put into another maneuver, and he backs off my hands. Notice I lean forward and allow for dorsal flexion, allow him to get his hind end underneath himself, and he backs up quietly. Super happy horse. He's going to play game over, walk off quietly. Just another day at the office for him. Great session for him. I can't wait to get this colt back and work on him again this year. Look forward to seeing him in the Blue Valentine and Driftwood Heritage production sale in September of 2022.